you now, I ain't no holy individual, but I am righteous. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not gonna steal from you, I'm not gonna cheat you. I'm gonna tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. That's it.
All right, can you hear me now? You can hear me?
There we go. Now we're cooking with gas, my brother.
Nah, we cooking with gas.
You must be old like me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely. You must definitely fossil fuels.
Yeah. You must be old like me. I'm like, man, this shouldn't be this damn hard. Like, yo, like, come on.
Definitely
like,
fossil fuels.
I say he's from the 90s. He's old like me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, try the 80s.
Right. The 80s, 90s. Yeah, I'm 47. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah. We right there. We right there in the place to be.
Yeah. How you doing, brother?
Taking it moment by moment, man.
Yeah, I'm finally glad to get you on. We got the legendary Minnesota. Oh my goodness.
Let's go. Hold on, let me get some air in here. Hold on.
Yeah. Do your thing. You in the Bronx?
Woo.
Yeah. All right.
I'm with you, home team.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, man. What's good with it?
You in the Bronx right now? You in the Bronx?
Nah, I moved. That shit is, I rarely go there. I only go down there for business at times. And
right.
I was rocking a little, hold on. You see? I was fucking with something before I got on it. I'm getting ready to fix that shit right up. Word.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes. Yo. So you're not in the Bronx no more, huh?
No, that's over now. I'm 50 minutes away.
Oh, that's what's up. So yo, let me ask you a question, because I read in an interview that your setup was an ASR 10 and a CD player. That's not the same nowadays, is it?
Bro, I'm gonna tell you something, right? See this junky mess here?
Yeah.
You see those floppy disks?
You still rocking with that?
Look, man, I'm gonna tell you why though. I just told a bunch of young producers why. You guys, excuse the, I'm in producer mode right now. Shit is a mess.
Right.
Now that should go, but I'm gonna tell you why. Because when you work on these new programs, I think we all need to go back to what they call lo-fi hip-hop, because you're listening to music in the wrong frequencies. So you notice you might like a record, but how many times, when was the last time, when do you get goosebumps when you listen to music? When you listen to old music or new music?
Old music, because it's nostalgic.
And not that it's nostalgic, the frequencies, they were recorded under different frequencies. So the frequencies we listening to music now is no good. We need to go back to analog just for music. So you know, that's you get more. I think it's 432. It's 432 and another one, but the frequencies we're listening to music and now doesn't really give the person the satisfaction that we had when we were kids growing up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You're right. That's funny that you said that, because you also said in the interview that if you're doing down south music, you're doing Bronx music.
You're doing Bronx music.
Exactly. Because you know what? It's funny when you said that, I was thrown off. But when I listened to Cash Money earlier stuff, like We On Fire, that was like Planet Rock, which we was doing.
Yo, listen, it's something, you know, all the time when I get information, I like to put it out. You know what ley lines are? You ever heard of ley lines?
No, I haven't. Ley
lines are energy centers. The Earth has a energy grid. Like it's kind of like a Rubik's cube. And I was just looking up ley lines, and I know that they all over. I heard one was in Mount Morris Park.
Right.
My man was like, yo, he said the people in Harlem, they special because they on a fucking ley line. He was like, the fucking ley line is under Mount Morris Park. So I look up the ley line. I see the one under Mount Morris Park. Right. So I'm from Soundview. And for everybody out there, no disrespect to Kool Herc. I love him. He should be on the top 5 of Mount Rushmore. But the man who started rap is Disco King Mario. Hip hop started in Soundview. I'm not gonna, if you speak to any old timer from the Bronx, they'd be like, oh yeah, Herc was coming over here. So he was coming to check out what Mario was doing. But now check this out. Ley lines are like spiritual energy centers in the earth. But now in Bronxdale projects, where Disco King Mario was from, there's ley lines going into the projects and into Rosedale Park, and then nowhere else. There's ley lines on the side. There's a park where Kool Herc used to jam on the side of his building. There's a ley line that runs 1 block from Undercliff Avenue to Cedric Avenue. And then there's ley lines that run through Bronx from the projects, but nowhere else. So I'm like, is that a coincidence that hip hop came right off of the place where these ley lines were? Like the pyramids in Egypt are on the biggest ley line. They're like the centrifugal force of planetary energy. So that shit blew my mind. And I just found that out the other day, just, you know, researching, because I read and all that shit, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, that's dope. That's dope, man. That's really, really dope. You know what I mean? Just you being a legend in the game, man, you know, your cousin hit me up, Eddie Chiba, legendary as well. Legendary, you know, Money Boss Money, shout out to D.I.G.G.A.Z, you know, EC Dub, you know, IC Dub and all them, you know. Yeah. I've been rocking with y'all for a minute. To me, and I'm gonna say honest right here, I don't care who said, you guys were the hardest. You know what I mean?
Okay, well, you came back. Somebody was trying to call me.
Yeah. What I was saying is, you know, we hear about the Locks being the hardest, but in my mind, how I look at it, you guys was like the hardest in New York.
Well, you know what? We were the first after Mob Style.
Right.
And I'm totally, I will say this shit in every interview. So far as gangster rap goes or anything like that, when I first heard Mob Style, my kitchen table was filled up with packages, rubber bands around jumbos, rubber bands around $7 bottles.
Right.
Like, you know, like I remember my moms came to see me with my aunt, and she came in, you know, and me and my mom's got that open relation. She saw my operation and me and my Spanish man, she was like, God damn, boy, like, you know, like be careful, like from a mother's perspective. You know, she walked in the crib, everything is lined up nice and neat. You know, we got our work ready for the day. But when I heard Mob Style made me say, yo, I want to do music. Because they had a story. They may have been the bigger guys at that time, but just me, I had my own story of that previous life. Right. So that was it for me. Like,
right. Indeed. Because I was like, yo, like Bago and EC, they hard. They harder than the Locks to me. They hard. You know what I mean? And
well, you know what? I wanna say this, right? You know, I'm not a versus type of guy. I hate that niggas gassed us to think that everything is like a versus. Like hip hop ain't no sport. Put your shit out and do what you do. Motherfucking the Locks is my guys. Like we never had direct friction with them. Me and Jada always been tight. Like Jada is my dude. You know what I'm saying? Like I got unreleased songs with them. I'm just waiting for them to put it out. But those are my guys. So it's never been a thing where it's like Locks versus Money Boss. I love them. You know what I'm saying? Styles, Cheek. I did joints with them, and I just can't wait for them to release them, because when I say these joints is nigga.
Woo. And Money Boss to me y'all just never got your just due in my eyes.
Well, you know what? I would say simply put, now I'm sharp, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm on point, but you know, something I learned in the industry, and it took me a while to learn it, years to learn it, that I was the outsider. You know, the industry, you know all this shit they talk about the industry is partially true.
Right.
The weirdo shit, to this, to that. And I'm gonna tell you who else is tight with me in the industry, and I consider him as a brother, Mos Def.
Yes. I'm aware.
You know, it's crazy how your mother's energy could be, because my mother called me and she was like, yo, call me to the movies. So we went to Magic Johnson's movie theater and we saw this movie. I think it was Bamboozle and Most was in it. And she was speaking highly of him. She was like, I was like, I know him. She was like, nigga, I know you know him. But you know, after we left the movie theater, I went to a party. My managers, they manage God bless Damu Mtume. Mtume's sons were my managers. So at that time it was Art Martin Faulo Mtume and Damu Mtume. And they had Moyo, I think it's Moyo Music. But they had a party. This jazz artist got signed because of me. They didn't know what to do with him.
Right.
They gave me this cassette and I lost my mind. And maybe I shouldn't have, because I would have been able to work with him. I got the nigga signed and never did work with him, but me and him is tight. His name is Balak. He's a jazz singer. He sung on Fast Life with Dr. Dre.
Right. Yes, indeed.
Incredible. Like, I mean, like, the nigga is like, and you know what I'm saying? But you know, just to make a long story shorter, Bilal had a party. And you know, my managers, they would always beg me to come to industry parties, and I hated going to them shits. So they was like, yo, we got a party for Bilal. You know, Bilal, bring out the chicks. After they said chicks the sixth time, I was like, I'm gonna come through. And I just came out with CDs. I was really frustrated with the music business. I've always been frustrated with it, you know what I'm saying? And I know how to approach it now, but I went down there and I had about 5 CDs on me. I bumped into some celebrities, but as I'm leaving the party, Mos Def is coming in. I'm like, yo, Mos. He's like, yo, Minnie, what up? I was like, hold on, I got you. I handed him a CD with like 40-something, with like 40-something beats on it. And you know, I'm not thinking nothing of it. Now I'm already grooving on the wrong. I'm already back in the left lane, because it was always music or hustling for me. So that nigga Mos called me in 2 days and we just ran around for years making music together. Like I didn't even, like I just know the nigga as Dante or Mos. I didn't know how, like, I would say I'm ignorant to hip hop, even to be a hip hop producer, because I don't like listening to rap music because people aren't talking about anything. Like I hate the deaf style. Like, you know, niggas, you know, like as an adult, we don't pay attention to the fact that somebody younger than you always admires your style or the way you carry it. Just like when I was little, I looked at the Hustlers. So I don't listen to it because it's dumb shit. I hate this shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when I was 7 years old and I was on a baseball team, Melly Mel came out with The Message. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under. From that record, we was at Yankee Stadium, because we was on the baseball team, where the stadium is now. That used to be the park. They just switched the sides of the street. And I kid you not, when I went back home that day after hearing that whole record, I looked at my whole neighborhood and my whole life like, oh shit, I'm living somewhere fucked up. This is what the nigga was talking about on the record. So I think that we should always have a dynamic of not teaching or preaching, but saying real shit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't hate on the people, but I hate the message on the records. It's like if you listen to Moneyball songs, we would never braggadocious, and niggas in the Campton had some paper. You know what I'm saying? Niggas in the Campton had some paper, but it's not like, it's like bitchy to me to be a braggadocious nigga. You act like the girl with the expensive pocketbook. That's what niggas remind me of nowadays.
Right. Indeed. Yo, and I've always seen y'all like real gutter, like y'all just so, you know, so street, like it's like when they were rhyming, it's like you felt them, like, yo, this is, you know, we surviving out here, you know?
Right.
Things like that. So because he said a verse, I think it was your cousin said, you know, my cousin Minnie started making beats and niggas started rhyming. So you got everybody rhyming, correct?
Well, you know, the funny thing was in Soundview, our crew in the 80s, we all young, this teenage, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
Right.
Our crew was the Money Boss Players. So when we got into music, we were looking for a name. First, we was Four Better Crew. Because I was the first one doing music. It was me, DJ Triple C, Lord Tariq, and a dude who got indicted and kind of got fucked up in life named Baby Jake. He was a big time, he was a kingpin in Massachusetts.
Right.
So we was a 4-better crew. That went well till we did a show at the Red Zone, and somebody threw something on stage at Triple C, and Triple C threw a Moet bottle, and that fucked us up because we was basically going to be Tim Dog Patterson and Puff Daddy and Jessica Rowe. We were going to be Bad Boy. We were the first street like group that got fucked up. So then Tariq took to the mixtapes and built himself up through doo-wop. And as time went on, we went through a sequence of names. We went through 4-Better Crew, Larceny Incorporated. Then we was like, yo, why we just don't use our drug crew name? The Money Boss Players. So that was that. You know, and the funny thing is the Money Boss Players come out of comes out of Rochester, New York, and Buffalo, New York. Because my man Kwame, his uncle was from up there, and we actually there was a stint where we was up in Rochester fucking around, but his uncle and his family was from up there, and his first cousin is the attorney Jason Boast, who works with the Griseldas and all that, right? So the Money Boss Players was a gang in the 60s and the 70s or some shit like that up in Rochester and Buffalo. So that's where it stemmed from my man Quam's uncle. And it was just like one day we was Money Boss, and that was our little Orange Top crew in the back of Salem. So we ended up going with that name, and that's when we really gained, gained steam,
Right. So, I know you've seen the game change as a legendary producer where you're getting like 5 figures for a beat. How do you feel about it now? Because I don't think is it really money in the game like it used to be?
Well, you know what? you if you a hustler, you're gonna hustle. It's nothing like it was, but you're gonna scratch up some, I mean, as they say, all good things come to an end.
Right.
There was times when I used to love doing remixes, even if they never came out.
Right.
I still walked away with 30,000. I still walked away with the lowest I ever walked away with was because they give you something called an all-in. So you go in, you do the record, you remix it, and you leave with the money. So if the session goes 8 hours, say 1,500 at that time was taken out of that money, you're still left with 13,000 out of 15,000. That's all yours.
Right.
Whether it gets accepted or not, you get your check. Right. They pay you upfront.
Right.
So it's different now. You got to grind, man. You might get 3,500. You might get 7,500. You might get 10. It's not like it was, but when you fuck with the record companies, you send that invoice and you're getting chipped off.
Well, now that there's no real, I'm going to say from an underground perspective. This is strictly for my diggers. So, from an underground perspective, is there really money in this?
Well, yes, I'll tell everybody out there what Mos Def told me. Mm-hmm. And this is the thing about rap. You put your first foot on the stoop to show that you're dope, and then you get into other things. Because rap is not about rapping no more. Rap is about branching off as a businessman.
Right.
When Money Boss, we were the first ones up at Def Jam before Rough Riders, before everything that was up at Def Jam. And we had a meeting with Leo Cohen. And I regret it now because I was young. You young, you're from the Bronx, you're fucking stupid. You know what I mean? Like, we all we knew was money, street, you're gonna pay me. That's it. So at the time, it was One in Ink and Money Boss Players. One in Ink is the guys who own Fed Magazine now. Mm-hmm. And we separated from them, and that was a crazy situation. But when we went up in there, it was 8 of us, 6 niggas in the group. Yeah, 6 niggas in the group, 2 niggas on the corporate side, and I was the only person from the artist side who was on the corporate side with One in Ink.
Right.
So they asked me, Leo Cohen basically didn't want to give us the points that we wanted, but he was like, yo, you in the machine, me understanding the conversation now, go in the room, man. Get out of here. Sorry, I'm doing it live. Get out of here. This little boy is crazy. Yeah, so I said to Leo Cohen, yo, you want 8 grown men to split $1.89? He was like, no, Minnesota, at Bumps and Platinum, you get more and this and that. What he was explaining to us was, look, in an eloquent way, he said, look, this is your music. You're not going to get paid off it immediately. I'm going to make all the money. But I'm going to bring you into an environment where you're going to be around millionaires, you're going to be famous, and you got chances to do other shit.
Right.
You'll get paid off your music down the line if you do well. So I understand that now. And, you know, it's just one of them things in life where I wish we had took the journey. I wish we had took the trip. You know, but it's all good, man. I'm alive, I'm well, and you know, I'm not bothering nobody, and I get my money, stay to myself, and you know, that's it, man. Single dad, raising a little boy, you know, that I just had to kick out.
Right.
You know, that's it, man. You know.
Right. Yeah. So as far as like creatively, like, you know, coming from an underground perspective, of course, you know, and I think Rock Marciano kicked in the door, you know, and he just broke all the rules. How do you feel about that now? Because I know back then, you know, Premiere, they were chopping up different records and it was had a different feel to it.
I'm gonna speak on a blind side that a lot of New Yorkers have, especially New Yorkers that don't travel.
Right.
Being in New York is like being in prison. We don't know it's a whole world out here. That's something that I always got to go back to. This is something that Mos Def exposed me to, because it took me, man, basically 1/3 of the world. And being in New York is like a prison. You don't know that. Even when you on the mixtapes, we didn't know that the mixtapes was getting all around America, England, and Canada. We had no idea that people knew us. So we were in the bubble, not knowing that we were underground stars. So we missed the boat on that one, you know. But just so far as like, I love Rock Marciano and all the other guys doing it, and you know, I thank them for even in the playing field. Because if they weren't true to what they do, especially the Griselda niggas, like, you know, I don't know them or no shit like that, but yo, bro, the thing I find is, you know, I live outside of New York now. I'm about an hour outside, right? And when you go outside, niggas is listening to rock. I'm a person who doesn't watch TV, doesn't listen to radio, and I swear on everything. When I got north of New York, everybody in the hoods was listening to Rock Marciano. That's how I got up on him. I wasn't up on him. Mos Def put me on the MF Doom. I didn't know who he was. And Mos was like, yo, you know who this nigga is, Minnie? And I'm like, that's the nigga KMD, Peach Fuzz. He was like, yeah, that's Doom, nigga. So that was like one of Mos Def's favorite artists. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. I mean, I did a thing with a bunch of producers the other night. And the thing I told them is, yo, y'all from the Bronx, so y'all gotta upkeep. Like, you know, y'all did good. I like what I heard in here. But you're from the Bronx. Like, we started this, so we don't gotta follow nobody. I didn't come in here expecting to hear all these Southern trap beats. Y'all niggas gotta come up with the next thing. And I was in front of like 20 of them at my man's studio. And it was just like, Cover is his name. It's a producer, Cover.
Right.
And I was like, yo, y'all just gotta go super unique.
Right.
Because the thing about music now is, and this is something that Leo Cohen said, you doing the same thing, but you're trying to fit through a funnel with 40,000 niggas doing the same thing. If I'm an A&R and I'm listening to it, I'm gonna go with the breath of fresh air. You know what I'm saying? So you jamming yourself, not being unique.
Right. So was there ever a rivalry, or like, I know, because this is another crew from the Bronx, the D.I.G.G.A.Z. Did y'all ever have a rivalry? Did y'all really work together? What, you know?
Funny story.
Diamond is that dude.
Funny story. I'm 14 years old. First nigga ever took me on a robbery with Showbiz.
Wow.
Those is my brothers to the vein. I went to school with Showbiz's best friend, a dude named True God, Kamada, because they was all 5%ers. So, you know, when you young, you do what your friends do. I'm from the crack block. I'm from Soundview. It's blazing up there. We buying our own Nikes. We way ahead of the curve. Like, we buying Roof of the World jackets, Clout Leathers, Woolriches. So, but me going to school, to high school with the 5%ers, they was taking niggas shit. I knew Fat Joe when, the first time I ever saw Fat Joe, we had a spot called Skate Keep. And I'm with, it's about 30 of us. It's Soundview niggas and Bronx River niggas. My man Brian from Bronx River, and we chilling on the wall, and we look to the right, and we see about 90 niggas getting off the train. This is when niggas used to mob deep, when niggas would roll deep and shit like that. We see about 90 niggas posse deep. So me and Brian look at each other. I'm like, oh man, we're gonna have to scrap with these niggas. That was just the energy.
Right.
They got, and it was a little fat nigga with an army jacket in front with some 20 belows with the bald head. Real fat Spanish nigga. They all, blacks, Spanish niggas, they all following behind this little short, fat Spanish nigga. So I look, they rushed to McDonald's. So we rushed to McDonald's with them. That was it.
Right.
And that was that. It was that easy. And then intertwining, it's different sides of town, but we were always intertwined by one or two people. So I've always been cool with the D.I.G.G.A.Z. I've always been cool with Fat Joe. Bronx rivalries, no, we didn't really have beef, because beef was something that was real back at that time. You was gonna hurt somebody with beef. So now beef is like a meatball sport. That's some dumb shit. Nah. We didn't have beef. We had beef with street niggas, street legends, street killers, but not no rap niggas, nah.
Yeah, no doubt. So, you still rocking with the ASR 10. What is it about that machine? Because, that machine is like, it just, no matter how many people, start with it, they always keep it. It's always in the background somewhere, that ASR 10. What is it about that ASR 10 that y'all just can't let go?
For one, it's analog frequencies. So you're getting your music under the real frequencies. A lot of this, and then you throw it into the digital shit, which fucks it up a little bit, but you're still getting it from analog. You're not going digital to digital. You're not sampling from YouTube straight into, I'm going, this is vinyl. I got 10,000 records and I can't even hook my house up, because my man is getting ready to bring me about 400 more records. Like, I'm living in a dirty record shop. Not a dirty record shop, but a disorganized record shop.
Right.
So, that's the problem with me. Like, I'm buying shelves. So it's going to look like a record store when I'm finished with it. But, the ASR has the analog sound, which is the correct frequencies. So that's why I keep, and then the way you can manipulate samples on there is kind of crazy. Like, I could take a note, time stretch it, and now I'm like almost playing a note from an old record that has this certain feeling to it that you can't get anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? So if you listen, if you like Pharrell, if you like Timbaland, if you like the original Kanye stuff, ASR 10.
Right. It's crazy because, I started with the MPC 2000 XL, and I had bought the predecessor to the ASR 10, which is the EPS 16 Plus.
Right.
And I've had it in my closet for years.
No. I started on the EPS. EPS was first. ASR was second.
Right. The predecessor, right.
Yeah.
Indeed. And I've had it in my closet for years, months, and they never really messed with it. But I know that's a classic machine because the ASR 10 came after it, and I just noticed that people never let go of that machine. It's always somewhere in the cut. And I think in the interview you said you met Pharrell and you saw that was one of his, you know what I mean?
I was getting ready to get rid of my machine because everybody was pressuring me, like, oh, da. And you know something that's so crazy. I'm really just a guy out the neighborhood because I'm not technical. When people get around me, they be thinking like, yo, you got the Digio one too with the megabytes and I be looking at them like, yo, bro, what the fuck are you talking about?
Right. What the
fuck are you talking about? I got 3 computers in my house, and look, I'm gonna tell you who hit me 2 weeks ago for beats on Instagram, because my guys that's doing like co-management. I'm trying to think. He's a white boy. He just did a song with Jack Harlow.
Okay. I'm not familiar with him.
Huh?
I'm not familiar with him.
Well, he's the new Slim Shady. He's a big deal.
Okay.
And I don't know who the nigga is. He was like, yo, you got something? So my manager wrote him back like, yeah, but I got to get my computer situated so I could get the shits together and send it to him. I got some crazy shit, of course.
Right.
But no, it's just shit like that. I like for me, it's not, I don't have to have a glamorized studio or anything. I just need to create with feeling. Feeling matters.
Feeling, indeed. So you're strictly on vinyl then. You're sampling on vinyl strictly, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't even take.
Now, let me ask you a question. Do you feel because of your old school aesthetics that it holds you back as a producer, as far as like getting out there, you know, being a household name?
Nah. You know, it's me. Like I said, I've straddled the fence, and lately I battled a serious health issue. In 2020, I had a brain aneurysm, and I survived that. So, you know, I'm healing. And internal injuries are different than, oh, you got shot or you broke your leg.
Right.
No, this shit is different. So I'm healing slowly. And I'm lucky this shit happened to me while I'm somewhat young.
Right.
I'm saying, so I'm doing everything in my power. Like I'm full vegan now. I try not to eat bread.
Right.
So, you know, I'm healing now. But nah, man, whenever I get busy, it pops for the whole crew. When I stop, shit just stops for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So now that I'm into it and I'm working again, we're gonna see some, because niggas come in, the producers come in and they all play the same beat. That's my advantage now. It could be 30 producers coming, they all playing the same beat, if you understand what I mean. I come in, my shit is like, damn, that shit is different. All right, because I strive to be different. I don't wanna wear the same Timbs you got on. That's not me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I apply that to my music too. Like,
so you're actually going into record stores and digging on your own?
Well, yes and no. I've always had a thing with digging in thrift shops. Or I dig on Facebook. They got Facebook Marketplace, and you find people giving their whole collection away for $200. I missed the collection. On the front of a nigga's collection, he had the original Long Red. And I was like, oh, I hit him up. He was like, yo, I sold it. He was letting his whole collection, he was letting like 400 records go for $200. He had everything was in pristine condition, all rock and roll. I was sick as a dog that I missed that one, but you know.
So with the industry moving so fast, like, because you know, I've interviewed a lot of you know, one of the first legendary producers I had on the platform. So I have a lot of younger dudes that they dig on YouTube, you know, and things like that. And with the game moving so fast, does that hinder your money as a producer? Now that you're digging and chopping up,
you know, I say this, everything runs its course. And right now, I think that humans are getting tired to listening to the same record. And I like a lot of the, I don't even know who I like, but I could sing you the records I like, but I don't know who they are. I think what I'm starting to pick up a little bit from people is people want something new, but they just haven't heard it yet. They just don't know what it is. They haven't heard it yet. But I mean, you know, I had kind of fell back also from production because I'm a complicated producer. The music is too easy. Like, all right, let me give you an example, right? When the dude came out with the record, what's the dude that came? I got that good cushion alcohol. I got some down bitches I could pull. So when I heard that record, it was fucking with my soul. Because I was like, I know this melody. It took me a long time, but I'm like, yo, this is Hush Little Baby. Little baby, don't you cry. I'm gonna give you a lullaby. They just took it down a whole pitch, a whole 12 down. Da, 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 da. I'm gonna get you a lullaby. I'm like, that's Hush Little Baby. So that's probably my problem with music. Like, I can do some innovative shit, when it comes to doing what everybody's doing, that's kind of hard. But I think everything has its turn. And guess what? Right now, the other niggas is doing their thing. The Griseldas, but
they're doing the music that y'all did back in the day.
Well, it's just good music, period.
Right.
You can't just shut down one whole compartment of music. Like, that's the boom bap is the original motherfucker.
Absolutely.
That's not the bootleg.
And it's not going nowhere.
I love trap because the Southern drum is the African drum. So you'd be surprised how African trap is when you listening to it. I love it. But not all of it. It's just certain shit I like, and it's certain shit.
Right. I feel the same way. I feel the same way. I feel
like I can listen to it, but there's a point where I got to turn that shit off.
Right. So I feel the same way. Like I said, we around the same age with it, but so like, you know, when it comes to like the creativity in hip hop, like there is a website that's really snitching on brothers called Who Sample, right? Not only do they give the sample, but they let you know what the producer did. And I'm like, well, damn, he's the hottest dude in the game with the hottest click and camp in the game, but all he did was just loop that and throw drums on it. You know, where like I said, back when like you were out, Pete Rock, you know, y'all chop shit up, did all type of crazy shit to show your skills. Would you say now that with the production game, it's more about your ear and then less about your skill and finding like rare records and just looping it?
Well, we have an advantage now because everybody is going offline. And now vinyl is becoming so obscure that I love it. I got some trap joints. I can load them shits up that I didn't chop them shit up. And I got some mean trappers. You know what I'm saying? I got some mean trappers too, but I would say a hit is still a hit.
Right.
Whether it's a commercialized hit or an underground hit.
Right.
Like look, we got AZ out there. The AZ is doing well. That's a brother I'm fiending. I always been fiending to work with him or Nas.
Right.
Yeah. It's just a hit is a hit. Get one. I forgot what white boy told me that. Famous white boy told me that. Like a famous white boy producer. He said a hit record. He said your life changed on one hit record, man. Get one.
Right.
Or
Right. So basically, you're not opposed to hearing someone who just looped the record and threw some drums on it.
It don't matter. It don't matter. As long as it's got like this. Like I said, there's trap records that I love.
Right.
And then there's a lot of them that I don't. So I'm not against it. I'm just anti-whack shit.
Right. Got you.
I'll tell you a record that I love. And I really get to enjoy records because I don't listen to radio. You know, radio will burn you out because they'll play your favorite record all day.
Right.
He goes on. I don't
listen to radio, so I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah.
That shit is fire to me. I love that shit.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I don't know who it is. It could be Travis Scott. I don't know who it is. But
I don't either. I'm old. I listen to what I listen to.
It's not about old. It's about good music. You be a fool not to listen to radio. Because look at radio, right? When we grew up, we was kids, we had WCBS AM. They played rock, jazz, funk. They played everything together. They just played the cream and the crop of all genres.
Right.
So now, these niggas separated all the music. Like, who are you to do that?
Right.
That's why I don't think that white people should be in control of our fucking music. Like, fuck, I gotta go to you for, my nigga. Like, what? That's why I'm glad the internet kind of bust these niggas' ass.
Right. So right now, what is your goal? Are you still trying to be the hottest producer? What is your goal right now with music?
Well, my goal right now is just to be an excellent businessman. And what I mean by that is I love music. Music is like a hobby to me. Right. So I'm in the process of doing something else that everybody will be interviewing me for this when I pull it off. I don't like to say if. So it's just to be a good businessman and to be in the game. But music I love. I try to keep music as what it was to me when I was young, something I lusted for, something I loved as a hobby. You know what I'm saying? I'm still listening to, whether it be new or old, I'm listening to good music. All the good artists are in prison on YouTube. They serving time on YouTube. You know how many dope motherfuckers you found on YouTube that you listen to? Niggas like Thundercat. I was on what's the homie's name? He's a big deal now. Silk Sonic. Anderson .Paak. I was on Anderson .Paak years ago. Malibu. When he did Malibu, all of those albums, like niggas is just getting up on him now. Like nigga, that nigga been fired. And he's not an R&B artist.
Right.
Word.
Wow. So will we ever get another Boss Money project?
Yeah. Everybody's working now. I feel good. I came back from the dead for this shit, literally. I love music. This is what I'm doing.
Right.
I'm working on like 3 different projects now. Not music projects, but I keep music as the hobby. So, you know, that's the advantage I have. Niggas is doing music because they want money and they want to score big. Right. I'm going to score big in the music again, too. I've done it. Whenever I work, I do it. I can't come in the room and play 20 joints and the nigga's not like, yo, what the fuck? Yo, when I played, when I was fucking with Murder Inc. for a while, right? And I got down with, I wasn't down with Murder Inc., but they stole my beat. So everybody's calling me like, yo, Minnie, your record is on the radio. I'm like, yo, get the fuck out of here. They're like, Lil Wayne is rocking on your beat, Ja Rule. I'm like, yo, man, shut the fuck up, man. So finally I hear it. I'm like, so now I'm like, not angry, but, you know, I don't get angry, but I'm like, the fuck? So I get in contact with my lawyer. My lawyer gets in contact with Murder Inc. And I go down there. You know, now they know. Now Murder Inc. knows whose beat it was. So I go down there. I got a kufi on, a dashiki, and some linen pants, just on my fly shit. It's me, my cousin, and my lawyer, right? And we go in there, and my lawyer at the time, he was my manager. He's a fool. He passed the bar. He's a lawyer now. Right. But we went down there. Irv was in there with 40 niggas because they probably heard, oh shit, Bronx nigga, you just stole shit from the Bronx nigga. We don't know what type of time they on. So I go down there, Irv is in there with 40 niggas. I come in with my beat machine and we talking. And you know, Irv is cool. A little weird to me, but a little cool. Cause the nigga, first thing he said out his mouth was, yo, my nigga. He goes through all this animated shit. Yo, how did you do this? Yo, we was in here trying to steal this shit so many different ways and couldn't do it. And I just had the honesty crack me up. And I could see where Irv would probably get on other people's nerves or not. I could see where him and 50 Cent probably clashed. Right. But he's too honest. He has no fucking filter. Right. And the nigga was like, yo, we was in here trying to steal. He said steal about it.
So the beat, was it a sample beat with a sample in it?
Well, they took it straight off of my CD.
Right, no, but when you made the beat, did you use samples?
Oh, yeah. Yo, you know what's so crazy? I lost over 10,000. My original record collection, I lost in storage. I would never know what that shit was, man. That shit was a disco record. And it was like, some shit like that.
So let me ask you a question. Are you able to sue them even though you sampled a record that you probably didn't pay for?
No. I have a situation like that with Kanye, where Kanye lifted one of my beats off of a CD. And, you know, like I say, I don't get mad, man. It's like flattery to me. And I know other people like, yo, you bugging, get your money, you gotta sue, because that's what the hood niggas say. Yo, fuck that nigga up. I'm like, nah, bro, just relax, man. You know what I'm saying? Right. So Kanye took the Missy Elliott Monica, you remember the song? Knock, 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 and that's your thing? That's mine. That's me.
And you made that whole beat. He just stole that whole beat.
It's a sample. It's a sample. If it was like Irvin them would have got towed up in court, because with that one, even though it was a sample, I cut it up so much you would never know what it was. Right. I don't even know what it is.
Wow.
I lost that record in storage.
Right.
Now the joint that Kanye booked me for, it says produced by him and Missy, but that was straight up. That was a straight up lift, and then they just played a bridge over it, and that was that. And I couldn't sue for that one.
Right.
It was like, yo, what we gonna sue for? Drums and a bass line? She was like, we can't book him. Now, if he stole some, I think, and there's other producers that got inspired and played some of my joints over, like the nigga Scott Storch. He did Beyonce, You're a Naughty Girl.
Right.
Naughty Girl. That's mine. In a sense that he listened to my shit and improv'd my whole joint and copied the drum pattern. Well, it was just shit like that. Like, I don't get hot. B.B. King said, you got to listen to somebody to go to another level. You get inspired. Right, so a lot of it is inspiration, but there's a lot of producers, and I'm not going to say their name, that literally stole shit. Niggas be stealing. And niggas is lucky that I'm not on nigga time. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, it's flattery to me. Right. And I know it's kind of wild to say, but it's really flattery to me that the greats just taking my shit, playing it over, stealing it or whatever. But, I found out how to protect my joints for future reference. So, I'll be in court with niggas that want to do it from here on out. Right.
And this is even if you sample something, right? So you're not, so let me ask you this.
Samples, you getting booked. If a nigga catch your sample, you booked. You just booked.
Right.
You just booked. That's it. Nigga got you.
Right.
Nigga stole your chain, he jumped in the car and he's out of here. You don't know who he is.
So if I make listen, I make a beat, I sample something, make a beat, chop it up, whatever, and another artist or whatever jacks my shit. Can I sue them even though I didn't pay for the sample?
That's a good question that I don't have the answer to.
You know what I'm saying? You're saying you can sue these dudes, but you yourself are sampling something else and making something. So it's like, you're stealing, they're stealing. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest.
Right.
And all that.
Right. You did a creative theft.
Right. And then they took your shit and just swiped it.
Depending on how much you damaged it, you could tear them up.
Okay.
See, the thing that I've learned about the musicians that we're sampling from, they don't even know. And they're what we're really doing, we're using them as keyboards, guitars, bass lines, and drums. That's what we're really doing.
Right, indeed.
So it's not like we're stealing, because we heard what you did. We took it, we chopped it up and made it into something totally different.
Right.
So it's like a creative theft. It's not like a nigga coming up to you with a gun and taking your chain. It's like
right.
And saying, yo, you know what, man? You know what's in this bag?
Right.
What's in this bag? It's worth more than that chain.
What you're doing. So what you're doing is taking the chain and turning it into a 4-finger ring.
Right.
Got you.
Right. Melting
it down, and now it's a ring. It may be some gold fronts.
Right.
Yeah. You're manipulating the sounds and all that. So since you say that, you are more of a chopper than a looper.
Well, look, I'll give my secret. Like I've had this beat on here now for 3 or 4 days, right?
Right.
It's been. I'm going through all of my hold on. My Command. You familiar with Command?
No, I'm not. School me.
Command is a record label from back in the days. Okay. But they were the niggas signing the niggas who did like weird avant-garde shit.
Okay, right. Okay, cool.
I'm going through London and Command. Right. So I'm like fucking with my real rare odd sounds, looking for that thing, right?
Right.
And I've had 10 different beats in there that probably could have sold, but I'm like, nah, because it's not me. It's not good enough. Mm-hmm. So what happens is you just try to get that perfect, for me, try to get that perfect thing before I go.
Right. Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, I'm familiar now. Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
They were like the biggest, they probably were like the biggest label for weirdos back in the days.
Right.
Now, Command is not even, so I was going through there looking for wild sounding shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, like the thing that I love about me as a producer, the only thing I say what I love about myself as a producer is I never know what I'm gonna do when I get on board. I don't know if it's gonna be Brazilian, African, Italian, funk, rock, R&B. I just don't know. I try to go with just the spiritual vibe of it all.
Right.
Like Eddie curses me out all the time. She'd be like, yo, Minnie, the fuck, nigga, you saw your interview? Nigga, you need to watch that again. You don't know what's going on. You don't listen to nothing. And I always tell Eddie that I get my energy from making music from this motherfucker right here. The sun.
Right.
That's how I intake. Music is so sacred and spiritual for me. That's what I do. That's where I get my energy from, the sun.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, Eddie probably ain't there because Eddie is nigga. He's hood.
Yeah,
so,
very good.
Yeah. So, you know, that's for me, that's music is spiritual for me. It's not concrete. I'll always be like, man, listen, watch the next joint I drop. It's called Oasis. That's all I got to say.
Okay.
I put this project out, Once Upon a Handshake, and this was like a lot of our street joints. And our street joints are not street joints in the fact when we talking about we're gonna murder a nigga. You could take something. I want you to take something away from every record. That was our thing as when we were Money Boss. Right. That was our thing. Like, say something that a motherfucker can apply to his life. Like, I've met Jay-Z twice.
Right.
Once, and this is years ago, once in the Land Cruiser. He was in the Land Cruiser behind the Palladium, and him and Big was together. And Big introduced me to him, was like, yo, that nigga right there. Me not being smart, and at that time, young, having that pride, I didn't connect with Hov on the spot.
Right.
They were gonna perform Jay-Z, Biggie Small, Making Shit, Your Draws at the Palladium. And then I met him there. Oh God, man, I just drew up a blank.
Right.
You know, I just wish that I got to work with that guy, or work with Nas, or because I work with a lot of the greats, but my favorites, I never got a joint with Nas, and because you know they saying something.
Right.
Saying something. That's, you know, it's like if you out there and you gangbanging or you fucking hustling, like niggas always forget that the kids are watching. We watched the guys in Soundview when we was kids. We watched the guys put their stash down. We knew where it was. When the police raided, we go pick up the guy's stuff. They get out of jail. We give them their stuff back and get $20, $30.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the kids, that's the only thing I can say for musically is the kids are always watching and they're always listening. So have something to say that's life-changing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And when I was a kid, the record for me that really opened my mind up to me living in a bad place was Melly Mel, The Message.
Yeah, indeed. So, what do you prefer? Do you prefer just selling beats, or would you rather get with the artist and produce a top to bottom album with an artist or a group?
Top to bottom. When I got with Mos, he was the first artist I did this with because I started to notice who I was as a producer. I was like, nigga, if you're just gonna take one joint, man, we could keep it pushing. I don't want to do one joint with you. And on the New Danger, I did 6 or 7 on there. So, you know, that was imperative and that was important.
Right.
To me, like, I really don't give a fuck to chase artists around.
Right.
Now, here's my stubborn bullheadedness shit now. If I work with you, I want to do 3, 4, 5 with you. I don't want to do one.
Right.
Fuck out of here.
Right. So are you giving out beat CDs now? Are you actually chasing the industry dudes? Do you want to work with the Conway the Machine and the Benny the Butchers?
I want to work with them, and I'm getting ready to start taking meetings again. That's next.
Right.
All those floppy disks, all those is joints. So I'm getting ready to start doing meetings again. But I don't want to leave my shit around because I'm the producer that niggas hear, and next thing you hear something on the radio similar to yours.
So let me ask you a question, because you say you start taking meetings again. Like, we don't, in that underground world, we really don't hear that. It's like, hey, I'm going to just email these beats to this dude. Would you say that you're still caught up in that 90s era mindset?
Yes, because I don't want niggas stealing from me.
You know? But is that 90s, but is that 90s mindset still applicable to today?
Somewhat.
You know?
I just say for me is, you know, like when I come out and work, I score licks. Like once I get 2 meetings, I'm gonna get 10, 15 meetings behind that. Okay. So I really don't care about what people are doing. And that's not to say, like I got some shit that's trapped that no one ever did yet. Like I got some shit that the trap niggas are I want to play. I got this joint that I want to play for Migos. Okay. And they're gonna lose I know they're gonna lose their mind when they hear it, like, yo, what the fuck was that? Right. You know what I'm saying? And it's never been done. So that's why I gotta be careful with playing joints for niggas. Because, yo, listen, right? Not to toot my own horn, but a lot of this shit, let's say I'm like kind of like the Marley Marl that didn't make it where he needs to be. Okay. So far as being an originator. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. I know I'm one of the producers. I get busy. I love music. Right. I don't have it in me. My Bronxishness in me, I don't have it in me to chase egos or like, you know, sometimes when I've been out, you know, people be like, yo, let these niggas know you mini. And I'm like, nah. Right. Like, yo, you plug in, nigga. You. And I'm kind of like a background type of guy. And it's like, I like people to find out on their own because it drives them crazy. Right. I don't got to sit there and say, yo, I'm the top shotter or I'm the top supplier for drugs in New York City or I'm the top producer. Let them find out on their own. Right. I learned that. That's what I learned from the street. Like, I've been around people and people be like, yo, you so cool, you so down to earth. Like, what am I supposed to be, my nigga? A nigga flat in his Gucci belt standing on a couch? Right. Am I supposed to be representing who I am standing behind a bottle of another nigga's champagne? Right. And I understand the times change, but for me, I am who I am, and I'm happy with being a calibrated person. Because this within itself is something that niggas don't have. Right. So let me ask you a question. So as far as lifestyle, like, you don't have you're not out here selling beats to survive, correct? Right now you're living because you've done Not a Player by Big all of that. I know how to make it make sense. Right. And I'm looking at what's happening in the entertainment industry now, and when I say I love it, right. I loved it since Jay-Z. Right. Because while these niggas were rappers, he was really a trafficker. And he took whatever he learned in the street, he really applied that. Like a nigga in the music game, when I get back in, a nigga is not gonna be able to beat me because I know how to make it make sense. Like it's of course, you got your creative side and you got your money side. Those is two different niggas that live within you. Right. It's like your pimp brain versus your good guy brain. You know what I'm saying? The shit you allow from your broad, and your pimp brain is like, yo, man, let me just walk away from this broad now. You know what I'm saying? It's so my love of music brain is a cool guy, but my print brain is always working, even if I'm not saying it. I know if you're trying to get over. Right. You know what I'm saying? So right now, business is the way. So one thing that Mos Def told me is you get in the game, you put your foot on the stoop, and then you show them what you can really do. Right. Because he said it was about just rapping. If you're around millionaires, what millionaires is looking for is their next big investment at all times. Right. Next big investment, OPM, other people's money. Invest, get to it. And win, lose it, lose. And better yourself. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a stupid kid off of the corner or a guy. I've had these different levels in life where I caught on late. When I was 13 years old, my father had got killed, and crack had just came out. But when I had got into the game, the older men that I looked up to that brought me in the game, the only thing they taught me was what? It's money, nigga. It's gonna be money forever. Give all your money away to the girls, like ball till you fall. And that was my doctrine, as those men were indirectly street fathers. That was my thing. I applied that to the music game, nigga. I had owed the Internal Revenue Service 200 and something thousand. That shit just got cleared up. You know what I'm saying? So I had regular nigga problems because I was thinking on a regular nigga's mind state.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, your business mind operates. It's so many niggas out here that got more money than rappers. Rappers are a fad. They come and they go.
Right.
The businessman prevails.
Mm-hmm.
Jay-Z is a businessman. You think he got to say another word on a record ever again?
Mm-hmm.
No. He's Michael
Right.
Jackson.
Right.
This is a nigga from the same concrete structures as me.
Right.
From the housing project.
And it's crazy that you say that, because even at my age, I make beats. I'm a beat maker, but I started this platform. You know what I mean? Because I'm not trying to be the next Derringer, the next big producer. You know what I mean? But I started this platform to let other producers shine.
Right.
And do their thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'll get what I want by helping other people get where they need to be.
Right.
And that's how I look at it, as well,
And I'm also the producer that's cool with all the producers. I have no producer beef.
Right.
None. You know what I'm saying?
But do producers, do we really have beef?
Do producers have beef?
I don't ever hear no producers beef.
Only when people steal people's shit.
Right.
Then there's beef.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise than that, producers is usually like, I've never met Pete Rock personally.
Really?
Large Professor is my man.
I figured that. Yeah.
Large is my man. I met Q-Tip once years ago at Hit Factory.
You talking about after all these years of y'all being you've never met Pete Rock? You met Premier?
Premier is my guy.
Okay.
Premier's to the vein, bro.
Right.
So when they interview Premier, when they be like, who's your top 5 producers? He'd be like, yo, Minnesota, I'm in his top 3.
Mm.
And the other dude, what's the dude who dropped the album with Jay-Z on the sneak? He's super nice.
Oh, fucking No ID.
No. He's a producer, dark-skinned brother. He was dating one of the Illuminati. He took one of the Illuminati.
Oh, J.J. Electronica.
J Electronica. When he does his interviews, they be like top 5 producers. He'd be like, yo, Minnesota.
Mm.
And
But have you reached out to work with him?
No, I would love to though, man.
Right.
I would love to, because he's one of the ones. And
right.
I would get with him and we'll bomb atomically.
Right.
Like, most, this nigga's like my brother, Yasin Bey, right?
Yes.
This nigga's like my brother. And what we would argue about in the studio? Because I'm nigga. I don't give a fuck that you most deaf nigga. But you know what we argue about? We had an argument one day. I was like, when we did when we was working on A New Danger.
Right.
He was coming off of this very eclectic hiatus.
Mm-hmm.
He got on my records, and all this nigga, we was doing rock. This nigga was singing, and I was like, yo, Mos, please rhyme. People want to hear you rhyme. And that was one of our arguments. So that was one of our friendly fallouts in the studio. I got mad one day, and I was like, nigga, you gonna sing on this, man? I want you to rhyme off of this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the song you did 2 words, he originally did it off of one of my beats, and they ended up doing it off of doing it with Kanye off of another Kanye beat.
Mm-hmm.
But that was our only discrepancy.
Right.
Mos is a real eclectic nigga. He's listening to his favorite. Mm-hmm. His favorite artist is like Shuggy Otis, like old school. His old school artists aren't even like, he's like me, Earth, Wind & Fire, Shaka Khan, right. Stephanie Muse. Like Mos is listening to some other shit we don't even know about.
Right.
hold you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he's a real talent. And the thing he taught me is, he didn't say it like this, but this is street terms. Do you want to be a quick flip, or do you want them to be talking about you 100 years from now?
Mm.
So I'm not enthused by the quick flip, because what we're witnessing now is a phenomenon of niggas that you're not gonna remember 8 months from now.
Right.
I'm not that.
Mm.
When they do the jazz documentaries, come on, what you want to do? Say hello? Come on, man, just say hello real quick. They don't care about you. Say hello.
Hello.
Say hello.
Hello, it was good.
All right, Assad, bye.
I'm sure.
All right, that's it. They don't want to see a drawing. Assad, get out of here. All right, man. So,
all right, it's my drawing.
There you go. All right, fly, my dude.
That's my man.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, yeah, you could be a quick flip, or you could be. Or are they going to talk? They're going to talk about Mos Def 200 years from now.
Right. Absolutely. 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 So has your production style changed from the 90s till now?
You know the funny thing, hip hop brought me in, and I'm known for hip hop, but I can do R&B, Afro beat, Brazilian. I'm really known for rap, but I could do all of it.
Right. So let me. Are you playing now? Like are you actually playing?
Well, I always knew how to play by ear.
Right.
But I need a keyboard player. I mean, I need a professional, but I could play by ear. Like, it would take me a while, but I could do anything by ear.
Okay, right. So when it comes to Afro beat, R&B, you're not sampling. You're gonna just get on the keyboard.
If I put my mind to it, nigga be like, yo, who's the keyboard player on that? And I'll be like, me. And I see niggas give me the side eye, like, oh, you don't just sample? Nah, nigga, I do it all. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, yeah. That's it.
Right. So what do you think that held you back from being like a real household name? Because we hear the Pete Rocks, we hear the DJ Premiers, the Large Professors, but Minnesota is never on a lot of people's radar like it should be.
Well, I don't chase men. I don't know if that I'll like, rap is a ton of egos. Rap is a ton of weirdo shit. I just want to do the work and come home. Like, I like making money.
Right.
Yeah, I do. But like how can I put it, right? I like Jim Jones, right? But he's a gang member. I grew up in a neighborhood with a bunch of gang members.
Right.
So my heart is Jim Jones Security. Nigga, I grew up with Bezo. Bezo's the security guy. He's been with them fucking 15 years now, right?
Right.
I got a direct in. I could have been with them forever. But I'm just the kind of person that sometimes I just don't like to put myself in certain environments.
Right.
Because I'm not a nigga who acts like a goon, really go full goon, full murderer, if I have to. And I just don't like to present and put myself in certain environments. Just nothing against a person, but I'm particular about where I place myself around people. Like, I'm looking at everything. I'm not just looking at one thing. I'm looking at the whole spectrum. Because it's so easy to get caught up now in rap with who you place yourself around and who you'll be around. Like, even with interviews, I do these, but there's going to be a point in time I'm just going to stop again and go back into my shell.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's not like, it's just one of those things, man, where it's like, I get it. Like, look, I consider Jadakiss as somewhat of a brother because we established an actual friendship. I'm not looking for friends, but that nigga's a cool nigga in real life. It takes a lot to defeat your ego and be a cool nigga. It takes a ton of shit to not let your ego take over you. So I usually connect with those kind of people.
Right.
Jadakiss is one of them. Mos Def is another. My man Tretch. I haven't seen Tretch in years, but I see him. I know our catch up is going to be like, no problem. You know what I'm saying? So, in essence, I don't. It's really me. Like I'll work. I'll come out and do it when I feel like it. But my goal is to be a good businessman. Yo, I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm dropping projects with me on it now. I've been a ghostwriter for years.
Oh, so you rhyme, so you write lyrics.
Look, New York City was in love with me at one time. And I'll just leave it at that. By way of the other guy.
Okay. You're not gonna reveal that. You're not gonna reveal that on this interview, are you?
No. I can't. I wouldn't do it. Yo, I'll tell you. I was with Biggie before he's passed, and I was in the Land Cruiser playing beats. It was me, him. He was in the driver's side. Busta Rhymes was in the co-pilot. I'm sitting on the co-pilot, and two of my producers is with me. Father Time and Sal Black. So we playing a cassette in a fucking Land Cruiser. And we playing a cassette in the Land Cruiser, and Busta Rhymes, I had this wild beat, Busta Rhymes got in and went crazy. And I love Busta Rhymes, by the way. Nobody wants to battle him. Biggie Rhymes, we playing different joints. So we freestyling now. So I said a rhyme that I had ghost wrote for a guy. And Biggie said, yo, Minnie, what the fuck? Why you never told me you rhyme? I was like, nah, nigga, I'm a ghostwriter. I don't rhyme. I just play around with it. I don't rap. He said, you do now. So Biggie said to me, the day he got killed, he had called me on the phone. He said, Minnie, when I come back, I'm signing you in Buck Wild. He was like, y'all niggas got what I need. And he said, we doing an album on you, nigga.
Rhyming.
And he got killed that night. Yeah.
So,
yeah, I got an album out now. Did you hear it?
I didn't. You're rhyming on it?
Yo, I got a whole album out. It's called Once Upon a Handshake, Minnesota Money Boss.
Okay, yeah, I gotta check that out.
And listen, right? You know what? I didn't put a red penny into the album. We streaming, we selling copies. Right now, Japan, Germany, the real hip hop niggas I'm selling records. Or selling and streaming.
Right.
I got a whole album. It's called Once Upon a Handshake. I put it out about 4 months ago, but I'm getting ready to drop the next one, maybe January, February.
Rhyming. And you're rhyming on this.
All of them. It's me, Eddie. It's me, Ed, and Trey Bag. So yeah.
Check that.
You didn't hear Variables?
I didn't.
Man, I didn't. Bunch of Minnesota Money Boss Variables. You probably heard it and didn't know it was me. You got a way to pull it up real quick?
Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I can.
It's on YouTube. Minnesota Money Boss Variables. And I had to change my name to Minnesota Money Boss. Because it's a white boy out of Minnesota.
I'll probably check it out. I'm gonna check it after this interview. I'll do that because I don't want to mess nothing up with this interview because this shit's going real good. You know what I mean? But yeah, I didn't know you rhyme. Like I said, Eddie Chiba just hit me up because he's been fucking with my little platform. He said you gotta get my cousin Minnie on the show. I'm like, oh word, hell yeah. And then I said hook that up, and then we hooked it up or whatever. Then me and you went back and forth, and we finally got it done. But yeah, I had no idea that you was spitting bars either. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, we are you familiar with the Ghetto Chronicle Daily?
Yeah, I'm somewhat. Yeah.
Yeah, we put that was we were the first, and we're gonna make that an NFT with about 5 or 6 unreleased songs.
Right.
But the Ghetto Chronicle Daily, we were the first before Wu-Tang. We were the first Wu-Tang before Wu-Tang.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that was 1992.
Right.
Ghetto Chronicle Daily.
Right. So you got a lot of projects in the works right now?
Let's just say I'm going to be taking meetings again soon.
Okay.
I'm going to be taking some meetings.
Right.
The project I got in the works now is something totally different. You know what I'm saying? Just some financial shit that's gonna be like can't lose. You know what I'm saying?
So if someone wants a Minnesota beat, is it gonna cost them like 5 figures?
Well, you know what? I haven't done everybody's like, yo, do the $40 thing, they leasing, you got a name, this, that, and the third. Right. I know that nigga steal, but I'm just making it hard for the thieves. Because it's like almost every producer, I can hear my sound in their music. So it's like niggas have gotten my sound out before me for years. Right. So I hear it. So I'm real precautious with my sound because I had to tune into who I am as a producer. Because the second I'm doing something, niggas is on it. Right. It's always been like that. So that's why you don't get me, you don't get my kicks, my snares, you don't get none of my shit online. Right. I'm real private with the energy because I'm one of the guys that everybody goes to steal. I feel like it was probably an in-house joke, like, oh, Minnie got a new CD out. Let's see what he's doing. Right. So we can get the only original producers I've heard that I could say never took nothing from me. Right. Is Timberland, Pharrell, and Swiss. Okay. So let me ask you this. Who do you like now that's out? I don't know. That's an honest answer. And when I say I don't know, I don't listen to radio. Like the way energy comes to me, I pick up my energies. If a nigga's riding by, blasting his favorite song in his car, and I hear it, because it only take me 2 seconds to be like, oh, what was that? Right. That's how I get my energy. I get my energy like in my mind. If I'm outside, I'm going to the mall and walk. Sometimes I look at people and I'll look at a person and be like, what's her beat? What's his beat? I look at a little kid and be like, what's their beat? Like I kind of look at people's spiritual energy and see what song comes off of them. So I've been doing that so many years, it's natural now. Like if I was to see you, before I even shake your hand, I got your beat in my head, like your spiritual energy. Right. So that's some weird shit, but that's how I get my so right now, who would you want to work with that's popping right now? Anybody? Good fucking question. I'm still loving Griselda, Bronx Street. Yeah, definitely them. Them niggas is boss. I fucks with them. This is a good fucking question. Because you don't listen to nobody. So it's like, is there anybody that you come across and like, yo? Oh, wait a minute. Yes. Anderson .Paak. Okay. My man, what's the nigga he sing with? My man, the that's my whole style. Oh my God, what's the nigga? I'ma leave the door open. Right. Okay. I'm not familiar, but yeah, who you talking about? The main nigga, the curly head nigga. Damn man, this is. I feel, and people are probably gonna look at this interview like this nigga's retarded, but he's a superstar. Right. He made 24 karat magic in the air, and don't believe me, just watch. I don't. I guess I'm such an underground dude, man. That shit, yeah. But him, okay. I would love to work with Anderson and him. They call Silk. Them as a group together is Silk Soul. Okay, got you. So anybody outside of Griselda in the underground that you want to work with, or not really? You've done it all. I will tell you, and I kid you not, I may do hip hop beats and all that, but my heart lies with neo soul. I could work with Erykah Badu, Jill Scott, those people. Right. I love, oh my God, Jasmine Sullivan, Tweet. I love R&B, like I love it. Right. Like I'm holding up a hit record now, and I'm getting ready to do it with just somebody new that's unknown. But I got a record for me and Aaron Hall. And I know that sounds,
wow.
Wow. Your industry friends is
the
crazy.
original Nasty Man.
Yeah. One of my industry friends was like, Minnie, you want to do a record with Aaron Hall? He said, Aaron Hall's fans are worried about if they catch COVID and survive. He's like, what's wrong with you? But
that's classic.
My mind functions as a real musician. So I don't give a fuck. Like, I got a record for Stephanie Mills and Chaka Khan. Those are my two favorite singers. I thought that Versus was going to be crazy. And it turned out to not be what we all assumed it would be.
Right.
But shit, my dreams are different, man. Like, I just want to do timeless, like niggas are doing music and they making money, but there's a lot of music that's not gonna matter ever again.
Right.
I don't want to.
You're right. You're absolutely right. So who would go against you in the verses?
Huh?
Who would go against you in the verses?
Me versus on the rhymes?
No. Just we'll say on the beat side of things. So people don't know you for rhyming like that on the beat side.
Me, Timbaland, me versus Timbaland, Pharrell, and Swiss.
Okay.
Me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because that's what they're gonna need to sit there and fuck with me.
Right.
They're gonna need 3 bad motherfuckers to sit there. And I guarantee you all 3 of them niggas together will be nervous. Like, how could he call a versus out like that? Like beat for beat. Not just beats, instrumentals. They got me on songs.
Right.
Instrumentals, beats, I bet you them niggas would be like, I don't know if we want to do that one.
Wow. You talking some big shit now. You talking a lot of shit right now. You know that.
3 against 1.
And you think you could take all 3 of them? Timbaland, Pharrell, and who else?
Pharrell, Timbaland, and Swiss versus Minnesota. Or instrumentals.
Straight instrumentals. Just playing the shit out the beat machine. Everybody bring their beat machine. Throw the disc in or whatever.
Bang. And I will, and now, not your songs, nigga.
No.
Your instrumental. Just on some, that's what hip hop.
Beats that nobody never heard. Just
nobody never heard.
Just straight beats.
Right.
Like a beat battle.
Right.
No songs, no hit records.
And I would be, and out of all of them, I would be intimidated by Swiss. Because Swiss he got his drum programming. He got nigga in his drum programming. Swiss knows how to. His drum program is like do tap, do tap. When he did stop, drop. If you notice, it was his drums made his keyboard sounds incredible. His drums was crazy.
Right.
And Timbaland, I would be probably a little. Me and him would be like neck and neck in chops. That nigga's a motherfucker. I found, going through records, I found shit that Timbaland has used where he took a second. And I'm like, yo, I know I heard those shit. And for Pharrell come out and bust your ass on his hooks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's a talented nigga. I'm not going front like, I would say those 3, because those is the niggas. Everybody else, I'm busting the ass. I ain't mentioned a lot of niggas.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'll beat them niggas up.
Right. So one last question before I let you go. I've been loving this interview, but what advice would you give upcoming producers or beat makers that's in their bedroom making beats? What would you tell them?
As you confront the world with your music,
right?
Let's say confront. Don't be the 10,000th nigga doing what 9,999 other producers are doing. I would say let's break back into originality. And that's how we really going to get the game back, because you got to think, you're doing what 100,000 other motherfuckers are doing to make it. Everybody's doing the same thing.
Right.
Everybody's doing the same thing. It must be for people who are at surviving record companies that have to listen and pick. This is why the record companies pick you on your numbers now, because everybody's doing the same shit.
Right.
So you could be the dopest nigga with little numbers and they not gonna fuck with you.
Right. So how do you be original if everybody is sampling?
Well, sampling is just an instrument. Look at your sample as the guitar. Everybody plays the guitar different. If you give Premier a record, you give me a record, and you give Pete Rock a record, we're all going to do something different to that record because we're different people. We're going to hear it, say it's a dope.
Hear it differently, right?
We're all going to do that shit differently.
Right. So what you would say to the upcoming producer is just originality.
Yeah, because you separating yourself, you giving yourself more of a chance than being in the box with 10,000. Look, right? If it's 10,000 tapes in the box, right?
Right.
And you knew I got to go through all of these.
Wow.
Wouldn't it be inspiring to go through that box and hear different shit every time? You'll be burnt out.
Absolutely.
You'll be burnt out the first hour because there's so many niggas, so many different people are making the same song.
But how many people think about it? There's so many people who feel they're being original in what they're doing. You're saying originality, but there's so many people who feel they're sampling, they feel like they're being original. So, you know what I mean? Like, talk to me. I mean, there's so many people who feel they're being original.
Opinions differ, and you're correct. But I would just say go for what you know. And the other thing is, a lot of times, like, I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna take meetings. A lot of times you have to have that initial contact or like putting your shit online. We're not even hearing the stories from the unknown producers of how they got jacked.
Right.
We're not hearing those stories, but I know they jacking. I know niggas is hearing the beat, recreating it.
Right.
So, I'm used to theft, but I'm trying to do theft prevention. Because most Def could sit here and tell you, niggas jack many. He witnessed it. I'm the nigga that a lot of niggas have jacked for music. So, I'm doing my own theft prevention. I'm gonna stop them. You're gonna hear it from the nigga who recorded on it, but I don't want niggas hearing 40 of my joints no more. Unless I'm playing in the studio, I don't want you to have my whole batch that I worked 2 months on. Nah, nigga, get the fuck out of here. Pick the one you want, and that's it.
Right.
Pick the one you like, and that's it.
Right. Got you. Well, listen.
It's just energy conservation. That's all I'm doing.
Got you. Well, listen, man, it was a pleasure chopping it up with you, legendary producer. And you know what? You're gonna be the first episode. This got to be the first episode.
Thank you.
I mean, dropping January 1st, 2022.
Right.
Legendary producer, Minnesota, because you dropped a hell of a lot of jewels. This is honestly, I would say the best interview I've done so far.
Right.
And I gotta put you first.
And once again, if you're into listening to real sounding stuff, or I got an album out. It's called Once Upon a Handshake by Minnesota Money Boss. And if you're in the streets, it's imperative for you to listen to, because there's some life-saving accolades on this album. If you're in the streets, I try to make my songs like something a person who's in a situation could listen to and save their life. So it's a lot of life-saving jewels on Once Upon a Handshake.
Once Upon a Handshake, Minnesota Money Boss. Yo, y'all heard it first, man. Minnie, it was a pleasure, man. We had a lot of hiccups, little things trying to make this happen, but I appreciate you for humbling yourself, because you humbled yourself to come on my little platform, because this ain't no big platform. You know what I mean? I'm just a dude, that love beats.
This is the thing, right? I'm working on things. Granted, I get a hit record and I'm back out there and I get big. Y'all get big.
Word up.
Sometimes the big platforms ain't about nothing. I did Doggy Diamond. It's some people that I don't want to do their shit.
Right. So what made you do mine?
I didn't hear of you before. That's why. It wasn't like Doggy Diamonds is my man, so I've known Doggy for eons, so I did that, but I didn't know of you, so I knew it wasn't a big platform. And believe it or not, these are the platforms that are gonna spark into something incredible. So,
man, I just like beats. I just like beats. I put on for the beat maker, and it's all about the beat maker. That's all it is, man. I'm a regular dude. I work a job, man. I don't get no bread from this. I'm just I just have fun with it. I love it. Like I said, we can talk for eons and days about hip hop. You know what I mean? That's all it is. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm just on it. Like I was telling yo, I got Minnesota from the 90s. I'm bragging like, yo, Minnesota's gonna be on my platform. I'm just open, like, yo, I got Minnesota. We're gonna chop it up with Minnesota. You know what I mean? And things like this really get me going. You know what I mean?
Right. I tell you, I lost the name. I had to change the name.
Word?
Yeah, so some white kid, and he got a hell of a follow. I think he got 1 million people following a little white boy from Minnesota. But hey, my shit come from the 80s.
We know who the real Minnesota is, though, man. No doubt. We know who the real Minnesota is, you know?
Him and me, because I'm Minnesota Money Boss now. It's like first name, last name. I'm proud to carry that shit.
Minnesota Money Boss, fine.
That name went through a lot. All of us went through some hellified struggles.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Eddie, Eddie was locked up with the I think Benny the Butcher. They were together for doing the same kind of things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, each one of us have been through some hellified shit. So, I like the name of Money Boss because money is a beautiful slave but a horrible master.
Right.
So if you're a money boss, so you bossing money, that's a great thing,
Definitely. My dude, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, man. No, we're gonna make this the first episode for season 2.
Thank you, home team.
All right.
I appreciate you, man. All right.
All right, peace.
All right, peace, man.
I'm gonna tell you now, I ain't no holy individual, but I am righteous. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not gonna steal from you, I'm not gonna cheat you. I'm gonna tell you